Hi friends, in this video we are going to study about ruby laser. In the previous video, Introduction to Laser, we learned Bohr's auto model, Einstein principle, population inversion, pumping methods quickly. We recall the important points. In Bohr's atom model, the very important postulate is when an electron jumps from higher energy state to lower energy state, it emits photon. In Einstein's principle, there are three principles, that is absorption. Absorption is nothing but electron transit from ground state to excited state after absorbing energy. Spontaneous emission is nothing but electron transit from excited state to ground state without triggering. Stimulated emission is a process. The electron transit from excited state to ground state with triggering. Next, we are going to discuss about a population inversion. In number of electrons in excited state should be more than that of number of electrons in the ground state. This can be achieved by pumping method. For example, optical pumping method is we are using flash lamps. So, population inversion can be achieved. To construct the ruby laser, there are three major parts are required. Active medium, in which the population inversion takes place. Here, in the case of ruby laser, it is a solid type. So, we are using ruby rod is the active medium. In the case of pumping method, we are using optical pumping. For example, xenon flash lamp or krypton flash lamp may be used. In case of optical resonator, the silvered mirrors at the ends of the ruby rod, which will give the increasing of intensity of the light. Let us see how do we get the ruby rod. Ruby rod is made up of alumina, that is aluminum oxide, with a small amount of chromium 3 plus ions are doped. Since in the presence of chromium, it seems to be pink in color. One end of the rod is 100% polished and the other end is 50% polished. These images are the original parts of the first ruby laser. In top left is original ruby laser setup, top right is dislodging the components of that apparatus. The bottom image is longitudinal section of the ruby laser setup. The white spiral flash lamp is wound around that ruby rod. One end of the ruby rod is 100% polished and another end of the ruby rod is 50% polished. A power supply is required to switch on that xenon flash lamp. So, when it is switched on, the xenon flash lamp is flashed over the ruby rod. Absorption, population inversion, spontaneous emission and multiple reflection takes place inside that ruby rod, and finally it comes out as a laser. Then the construction of the ruby laser. A xenon lamp is wound around the ruby rod. One end of the rod is 100% polished and another end is 50% polished. A power supply is connected to the flash lamp. When it is switched on, the xenon lamp is flashed over the ruby rod. Finally, the laser comes out through the 50% reflector, which is in red color. The working of ruby laser can be explained with energy level diagram. Ruby rod material consists of three energy levels. E1 is ground state, E2 is metastable state, E3 is excited state. Here the active center is chromium 3 plus ion, which is in ruby rod. The chromium 3 plus ion, which are transiting ups and downs among the energy levels. That is why it is called as active center. When the lamp is switched on, the white light of xenon is flashed on the ruby rod. The chromium 3 plus ion in the ground state is absorbed bluish green light and transit to the excited state. This is upward transition. Due to unstable state, the electron returns back to metastable state quickly. There it can stay for some time. But that kind of radiation is non-radiative transition, which is acting very fast. After giving the energy of the blue color to the chromium 3 plus ion, the xenon light ray will become red color because it loses its energy. For next flash, the other chromium 3 plus ion is transited to excited state and returned back to metastable state. Now, the population inversion takes place between E1 and E2. Population inversion means N2 should be greater than N1. N2 is nothing but number of ions in the E2. N1 is number of ions in the E1. So, here according to this picture, N2 is 2 number, N1 is 1. So, N2 is greater than N1. So, now the population inversion takes place between E2 and E1. Now, the red color photon strikes the ion in the metastable state and this incident photon will go to that side. When an electron or chromium 3 plus ion stimulated by that photon, it comes down. So, when an electron or ion jumps from higher energy to lower energy, it produces photon. Please look at that again. So, this is emitted photon. Both photons are in same phase. Then these two photons are allowed to fly back and forth by means of reflectors. After attaining enough strength, the laser will oscillate around 693 nanometer, that is red beam of laser. For higher level, this energy level diagram can be explained as shown in the figure. In general, blue and green colors will be absorbed by chromium 3 plus ions. So, there are two upward transitions are shown, each color representing that absorption. So, generally blue is high, blue has high energy. So, it is in the top. Green color is somewhat it is lower than that blue color energy. So, it is under the blue color. So, remaining all the process are same. Then applications of ruby laser. So, ruby laser is used to drill holes in hard materials and also used in holographic camera, and we can remove the tattoo using this type of laser. Then high power QVG system and high power systems for frequency doubling into the UV spectrum.